thank you very much. I really appreciate this opportunity of being able to come here and speak to all of you, manufacturers and quality people. I'm going to take you in a little bit of a different direction than what we've been talking about so far. This is a crucial area for quality. It's a major field of opportunity. I've been in quality and in manufacturing all my life, but I recognize an area here that manufacturers are really not addressing the way they think that they're addressing this. and so therefore, it is a major field of opportunity for quality, although quality most often doesn't recognize this field of opportunity yet. Manufacturers are missing the mark. When it comes to product safety and product liability, we're too often missing the mark. We don't think that we are. We think that we're doing everything that can be done and that we all understand this. But the fact of the matter is you don't understand it. And that's why it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem for large corporations as well as small corporations. It's very difficult to measure how many actual numbers of product liability cases there are every year because they're in the civil court system. Most of them are in the civil court system in the United States. In the same civil court system will be medical malpractice, will be contract disputes, and all the rest of these lawsuits. So they don't separate and count just how many product liability cases there are. But there's tens of thousands of them. They're huge. They're just huge. So what they try to do is they at least measure the top jury verdicts of what they awarded the plaintiff who was suing the manufacturer. And they try to gauge how much worse this is getting by how much those jury verdicts were worth. So what you can see here is that in 2008, the top 5 largest product liability verdicts in the United States added up to $408 million. In 2009, it went up to $620 million, a 52% increase. 2010, $1.1 billion. This is just the top 5. $1.1 billion, up 77% over 2009. And 10 of the 50 largest jury verdicts in 2010 came of product liability cases, 15 verdicts of 25 million or more in 2011 and 2010. It's a huge area. Product liability, that's not a quality issue. That's the legal department. No, it's not. It's quality. You know what the problem is? It's not anybody, and yet it's everybody. All management needs to understand what this is about and be doing their best. We all know what it takes. This isn't a common sense situation. You don't know what it takes. And here lies the problem. I do seminars all over the world, and I have the general counsel of corporations sitting here next to the directors of quality, the vice presidents of engineering. They're all trying to learn what the heck they need to do because they don't know. The legal departments within corporations, they're not in your production meetings. They're not out there on the floor. They're not part of new product development. They're sitting in their offices. They're doing contracts. They're doing acquisitions. They're handling insurance claims, product liability lawsuits, and hiring attorneys on the outside to represent the corporation. They have no idea what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. They even bring me into corporations to teach us. You would think they could teach us. They can't teach us. They bring me in to teach this to the whole management team. And in many cases, the head of quality is the one that spearheads this from that point forward. Not only is the head of quality, but the head of product liability prevention, and they create a corporate team, and the legal department is on that team, not driving the team. They're just a member of the team. So why is this happening? What's going on with these products? Why are they being recalled? The number one problem is defects in design. That's the number one issue. Secondly, not complying with regulatory requirements, especially consumer products. Not complying with regulatory. Why is it not complying with regulatory? Well, quite obviously, there's nobody who's well-versed on the regulatory requirements within that corporation, or they're not catching it, or nobody's listening to them. I don't know what's going on. And the products are getting out there and they don't comply with regulatory requirements, and now it's been found out, and now they have to recall the products. Third, it wasn't your design that was defective, but one of your parts suppliers suddenly gave you something that shouldn't have given you. Wrong material, the wrong mix in the material or component part, wrong value in an electronic component part, and they may not even know it themselves. Matter of fact, it could be the supplier to them that made a change and didn't tell them and they didn't tell you, and it's going to end up in that product failing. Maybe that product catching on fire, maybe that product leading to a personal injury. And so defects, components, and material. And then the very last thing that is the cause of these recalls is defects in manufacture. Here's where quality stepped in. Preventing defects in manufacture. Well, that's great, except that that's fourth on the list. Who's catching this? Stereotypical role of quality is engineering, give me the specifications, the design specifications. We'll make sure that those products are made per that spec, and we're going to be watching for this. And I say to the international quality audiences all over, I speak every year at the International Quality Conference. I say, who said the specs were right? You're only ensuring that if the specs are wrong, if they're defective, they have a defect in the specs, you're only assuring I'm going to get one. You need to go be more proactive. You need to question the specification, take a good look at this and determine whether or not be on this team and making sure that this product that you're about to make is a safe and reliable product and it's going to live up to the expectations of the end users. Here's all of the areas, and of course I can't get into this in this short of a presentation, but here's all of the areas that we get involved in product liability prevention, and all of the areas where something can go wrong in this whole thing. And so these are all of the areas that we need to focus on in product liability prevention. This is what I teach in the seminar. But why focus on product liability prevention? Companies with the best quality programs are being devastated by product liability lawsuits. Quality systems aren't enough. You have to enhance the current quality. You have to learn what this is about, learn what needs to be in place, and bring it into your quality system, and into your quality management system. Incorporate these things into the operating procedures. Make sure you have procedures that handle key aspects of product development and design, and what these things need to say, who needs to be the players in this, what their roles and responsibilities are as players in this. Policy statement that we are going to have design reviews, that we are going to have product safety reviews, that we are going to test our products before we ever launch them. And we're going to find the time to do it. Signed by the president of the company. In many cases, you may have a procedure already in place, selection of suppliers, and you're going to add a new element, like making sure that these suppliers of yours even have product liability insurance. If it was their component part of their material that malfunctioned, are they even insured? You'd be surprised. 28% of companies that have 250 or less employees, 28% of them don't have any product liability insurance. You don't even know that. Recall procedures in place, not trying to figure out what to do in the heat of a crisis, but to figure out right away what we need to do or what we can do and who's on this team, what their roles and responsibilities in case we ever have to recall the product. So the ultimate quality failure of a product, it's not a warranty thing, it's not even a recall. It's a product liability lawsuit. Product was so bad it hurt or injured or destroyed property. You need to get involved in this area. Otherwise, I want to thank all of you for being here this morning, and I hope you found this informative and interesting. Thank you.